I'm pretty sure all of you were in my class yesterday besides Miss Renee. And hello.
First day I can be here.
So, I'm the Quilting She Shed. I'm Veronica. I'm located in Lake of the Ozarks, Missouri. I'm sorry, I'm losing my voice a little bit today. Today, we're going to be teaching about free motion. I've been free motioning started in 2019, and I just got my diamond in April, so I've been free motioning up till that point. So, I will show you some different designs and tips and tricks that we can do on the long arm today. If there's a particular design you guys would like to learn or do, feel free to mention that, and I'll kind of show you how I do that that I've learned how to do it. So, okay, so this is a diamond.
Thank you.
This is a diamond and this is a pro. So I do a lot of free motion on my pro, and my diamond has electronics, but you're able to unhook the electronics and then do free motion where you're actually physically moving the machine. The electronics are not doing it for you. So, and then somebody had asked where the encoders are and how the stitch actually happens. So the encoders are located there's a carriage that the machine sits on. They're located on the X and Y axis, so left and right of the machine. So one rolls on the frame behind it and one rolls in that carriage on this side. So, hi Miss Wendy, it's so good to see you. Thank you for sitting up front. I'm glad you came to class today. So just to go over some different lighting features that we have here on the new diamond. When you're working on a white-on-white quilt, something like this up here, you're able to change that to cooler or warmer. If you're doing free motion work, that can really help so you could be able to see the details a little bit better. And then we also have UV light, so say you're using a bright colored thread or something like that, you're able to see, and that actually makes it glow and illuminate from both sides. I'm going to start out the class with teaching some, I like to do a lot of roses on mine, and I feel like that's one of the easiest ones to start out with. But basically, if you know 5 different designs, you can free motion really well. So you start out with loops. Hi, Poppy.
Good morning.
Good morning. Loops, swirls. And so you're going to take a swirl for free motion. You're going to start out, you're doing a swirl. And then you're just going to do bump outs like this. Okay? Another thing, which I didn't mention earlier, when I'm trying out different free motion patterns, this is a cheap way to try out free motion patterns. So this is just a shower curtain from the dollar store. And then I can lay it over top of my piece here. I can draw on it with a dry erase marker, and I can showcase different free motion designs for some of my clients. So this is an easy way to do that. Say, well, I'm going to free motion this and this block, and this is what I think would look good in this block, or maybe that doesn't look good at all after you've put it on the shower curtain and showed them, and we should reconfigure that. But you can do almost an entire quilt this way with just a shower curtain. You can also use washable markers if you know you're gonna wash the quilt after, or there's friction pins, which we have available in our shop here today. You can mark. I didn't use them in our class because we have blue fabric and they're actually a blue marker, and then you go over it with the iron and it actually will erase those. So a lot of times I'll pre-draw out my design so I know that it's gonna fit in that space, and I kind of don't get too close to the edge. And then if I'm going to do a fill, I'll fill in after. So I'm going to pretend that I'm doing a border here this morning. And I'm going to just draw on my fabric here as if there were a border here. And you can use a straight edge. You can use the pantograph patterns. You can Like I said, put your plastic over top of there. If there's a particular pantograph pattern you want to try, put that over top of there, like this, clear stuff, and trace that design on there. Or use a stencil, as I showed yesterday in our class. Lay that stencil down, chalk it out, or stencil it in, and be able to try that and get that muscle memory. That's a lot of free motion quilting, is learning the muscle memory, listening to your machine. So I'm going to start out here. I'm going to start in the center of the rows that I'm going to start with. So I'm marking it with dots, and those are I'm going to try and make those the center of my roses.
Yeah, there's the camera, isn't it? I have two. Oh, you have two? Okay.
Y'all can come around here if you want, though.
Okay, behind.
But not completely behind the machine, but just stand right here. Right here, honey. I want y'all to be able to see so you can understand. So I'm going to start in the center here. Miss Joyce taught me this week, but I'm flossing my bobbin. Look at that, I did it. And then I'm going to take another stitch over top of that to lock that in, okay, on free motion. And yes, I actually know where the scissors are today. We're improving, guys, we're improving. Maybe I want to do some leaves on it. Hold on just a minute.
Nothing's coming down. Oh, you're taking it.
The back of the machine handles were hitting the...
Always freehand regulated?
I do both.
Okay. Would Cruise be the one too?
Yeah, cruise is great too, because when you go into those stitches, it actually slows that motor down. What happened there is my back handlebars were hitting that quilt back there. Does anybody want to try it out? So you go into a swirl. Come on, Audrey. We're going to give it a go. So what we're going to do is we're going to go over to this point like you're doing a swirl, and then I'll help with this arm and bumping it out. So just push the green button.
Okay, did you say straight?
Actually, here we go. Here we go. We're doing this. So you go over here like you're going into a swirl, and then we're just going to bump out like this.
And it doesn't have to be exactly uniform, does it?
No, it doesn't. So it's like up to your discretion. So you can do them tighter or looser.
Okay. And I see you go over yourself. That's not a big deal either, is it?
No.
I always thought
Green
you
to go.
couldn't do that or shouldn't do that.
Those
There you go.
bigger stitches.
Go ahead. You're good. I'm gonna turn our speed down here. There you go.
Hot time.
I'm glad to see someone else struggles.
And then push the red button to stop. And that's how you do just a simple rose. But you just like feel like you're going back into a point. Also, if you guys want to try out a different design, you can, if you have an iPad or something like that, you can go to Quilting Stencils online and take and try and draw that, pull that up full picture and draw that, because that gives you muscle memory. A whiteboard.
I use a dry erase.
A whiteboard, you can take a whiteboard with the expo marker and go ahead and try that out as well. But, and then if you want to do like different designs, like I could do like a leaf pattern over here. If we're doing a Hawaiian flower, we go in, and then you're gonna do a crazy outline. And then you're gonna do an inside one. Actually, a lot of time to free motion, I use a high vis foot because you got that gap in the front and you're able to see where you're going and what you're doing. So if you've already laid out a line, you can kind of see in there and guide yourself on where you're going to go. It just has a little bit of a gap up in the front of it. Was there a particular design? Anybody want to call out a particular design they want to learn how to quilt that I can show you while we're here, or maybe learn the mechanics of in order to quilt it? And, you know, I don't know who said that you can't go over your lines, because a lot of these I did go over my lines and it still looks pretty.
I think that's with stippling
Yeah.
that you hear that.
Anybody have a particular design they want to learn today while I'm here to teach you guys?
Anybody what?
A particular design they'd like to learn today?
Free motion.
Feathers?
Oh, feathers.
How
Okay.
you start here and end at the end of your quilt in the same,
For stippling? Is that what you're asking?
okay. You're doing this here at the beginning
Uh-huh.
of your quilt. How do you manage to do the same dimensions at the end of your quilt? You know, when you're free motioning, you're,
Another thing is you can
I struggle with that.
you can use a ruler. So I would mark it. I think I have one.
Okay,
There were
you're
so many inches.
talking about using washable
Yeah, so I would use a
and-
ruler and I'd
yes,
say, okay,
and mark.
mine's about this big.
Yeah.
And I would mark it on the ruler here too.
So that you,
And then I would
Use that
place it
gauge.
somewhere else and use it somewhere else on there. And then that would tell me, okay, well, you can always pause the machine and stop and then, oh yeah, I'm about there.
yes.
This one's probably a little bit too big, you know.
Yes.
But to
okay.
keep that consistency all the way around your quilt, that's what I would do.
Okay.
And then you,
Because I start small, and then by the time I get to the end of the quilt, it's a little larger, and I'm not the only one that happens to.
well, and
Thank you. Happens
See
in,
that happening easily.
it happens in crochet and everything, you know. Your stitches
also
get a little
taking
larger.
breaks. So I always tell like people, I think I've reiterated this in a lot of my classes this week, is 20 minutes a day equals 100 hours a year. You're going in there for 20 minutes and you're used to doing the same. You're moving the machine, turning on the machine, oiling your machine, just doing your daily maintenance and things like that. Then you're going to get used to that and be able to, you know, take time to learn things like free motion for like 10 minutes, you know, say you do it for 10 minutes. You'll get used to it and be able to be very consistent with how you're doing it. But you can even pull up designs and take in trace online to try and learn different free motion designs as well. So,
Okay, and you're talking about muscle memory and
Mm-hmm.
things like that. Okay.
so like if you have a whiteboard, you're sitting on the couch or whatever, and you're like, well, I'm thinking about this design for a quilt. You can take and draw it out. Get your iPad. If you're out on your iPad and you're trying to, you know, do this feather that's up there, which I can show you feathers real quick too. So you start with like an S. So say I wanted to feather fill all this. So I always start with an S. I actually have stencils that I use a lot for these types of things. And I just say, hey, I'm gonna try this.
Well, that would be if all my corners match.
Does your corners don't need a match, but this particular ruler, I would put that in one corner and go to the other corner, flip it around, do the other corner and go up. And then if you have like all that background, I would probably pick something that's a swirl or something easy for you to do. But inside of all the triangles that you actually sew together, I would probably do something like this. If you want me to show you how that works, I can. I don't have a ruler foot on here, but I can easily change it out and show you.
So basically you're,
Yeah, show me. 'Cause
Absolutely.
I loaded it last night. I don't know if it was
Well, I love that for you.
after I went to the loading thing on Thursday. I thought I loaded it.
Okay. Now I'm gonna roll this quilt up so we can pretend that it's her exploding heart quilt, okay? There's one king size quilt this year that I did, and each individual quilt block I did a different design in it so that I could learn different free motion designs on that quilt top. So then essentially you can hang that quilt up and go, oh yeah, I could do this design, I can do this design. And my ruler plate's already on here, so I don't need to add a ruler plate. You have a ruler plate for your flare? Nope.
I'm not sure what you're referring to, so no, I don't.
Smoke on the water. I did. I changed the foot out to the ruler foot. You can look at it. It's up there on there, the machine.
That's the one I use all the time
Okay, great.
because it's easier for me to press
Okay.
without that bar on.
A different foot?
Yeah, I changed the foot to the ruler foot. We have a foot bundle that's available in the shop that's got, so if you're doing pantographs, I changed it to the spoon foot. Ruler foot is for ruler work, and then it has this base plate. Feel this base plate underneath here? Yes. So that you're actually able to do ruler work on there, or else you would just have this tiny throat to sit on. No.
No, mine's like this.
Okay. So I'm gonna pretend it's your triangles. Yep. Okay. Can you show the class that lovely quilt? So I'm just gonna do some random triangles on here, right? And what's good about this is you can plan it out and you can say, hey, I'm gonna go to this point, to this point, to this point, to this point, to this point.
Right.
Okay?
May I see? Here.
So I'm gonna pretend we have some triangles here, right? Because we're doing an exploding heart
Except they're
quilt.
like a fourth that size.
Okay, sorry. Not exactly the most even lines, but
We
Oh.
get the idea.
we're working on it here.
Take me.
Okay.
I was here for the rulers.
I'm using regulated for rulers.
No.
Rulers regulated. Okay, my triangles are not exactly even, so I'm just figuring out which ones. But it's gonna be the same way on a regular quilt, you know.
Yeah, be the same stencil all the way around, except for in the corners. I suppose it'd be different.
Oops.
Glad you say that too.
I can hear something going on with my bobbin.
It kind of makes them look like gemstones. You know,
What
where
color
they're
I'm out of
faceted,
bobbing.
they have
of
that-
thread?
I would
Because I
use a
bought-
variegated blue or a blue, teal blue. And then
But
on the
not
brown,
bright.
I would use like a
I've got the gunmetal gray.
that'd look great.
Because it is gray, it's not brown.